F9, The Fast Saga, sees the return of Justin Lin directing and stars Vin Diesel and John Cena. As Cypher teams up with new bad guys, Dom searches for answers about his long-lost brother Jacob. This is officially my finale of the Fast and Furious reviews I've been doing on this channel since March 2020. I thought it was going to take such a long time to get to this point, but that actually went really fast, believe it or not. I guess ever since COVID, time just flew by, and now we are finally here with F9, The Fast Saga. Can you believe that this franchise is 20 years old now? If you saw my latest video where I did a quick review for F9 right out of the theater, you know that I think this is the worst Fast and Furious movie since the fourth one, Fast and Furious, but I still think it's a lot better than many people are saying. This is by no means a terrible movie. Surprisingly, I was entertained by the movie's story as well as the action sequences, which is less of a surprise. Before seeing F9, all I heard about this movie is that the action sequences are super unrealistic. They take it way too far, and to their point, they are right. The action sequences in this movie are by far the most unrealistic out of the franchise thus far, but that doesn't mean they're not still fun. And it's not like the franchise ever took its action sequences too seriously, because why would they? It's not meant to be serious. It's the Fast and Furious franchise. They want people to have fun. They don't care how unrealistic the action sequences may be, as long as they are entertaining. I'm sure a lot of people will still enjoy them, and that's exactly what we have here. And if you did see my last video, I said that my favorite aspect of F9 is the brother dynamic between John Cena and Vin Diesel's characters, Jacob and Dom, the Torettos. The two share some truly heartbreaking scenes. We get a lot of flashbacks. We begin to understand how Dom became the man he is today and where Jacob has been this entire time. The movie actually explains why we have never heard about Jacob before this movie. It makes a lot of sense now. Before seeing the movie, I thought they weren't going to explain it and he would just appear out of nowhere. As expected in F9, the cameos and the big returns are heavy hitters. When you jam-pack a movie with faces we recognize, people are going to eat that up. The same went for me. I loved seeing Han back in this movie. I loved seeing the guys from Tokyo Drift. It was nice that this movie tied up the loose ends from the rest of the films in the franchise. Not to mention that the Fast Saga is easily one of the most colorful Fast and Furious movies to date. A gripe I've never talked about that I have with the Fast and Furious movies before F9 is that they're pretty dull looking. They don't have much color to them, but this movie is by far one of the most colorful I've seen in the universe. So as you can see, I have various reasons for why I think F9 is still a good movie despite having multiple flaws, which I'll get into in just a second, but this is not a terrible movie like many people are saying. I understand that the action in this film is very over the top, it's ridiculous, it's not realistic, but that's the point. It's Fast and Furious. They have to just go further and further with every single movie. What else could they possibly do? But my biggest problem, as I've discussed before with F9, is that there is way too much downtime in between action sequences. After the opening action sequence, we probably have a good 45 minutes to an hour in between. That is way too long for a Fast and Furious movie. It doesn't help that it's kind of hard to get through with tons of exposition thrown in there. Also, this movie is simply not as funny as the previous Fast and Furious movies. I was waiting for the punchlines, but they never came. Usually I expect a lot of humor from Ludacris and Tyrese Gibson, but even they weren't that funny in this movie. I expect things like humor to make up for downtime in the Fast and Furious movies, but we didn't get it here, and therefore the middle of this movie is pretty slow. And something I forgot to mention in my quick review is that the film loses so much charisma without The Rock, Jason Statham, and of course Paul Walker. It's really a shame that none of those guys are in this movie. They do make up for it a little bit with Han, but even he's not in the movie that much. So by not having Jason Statham or The Rock in this one, the film loses a lot of charisma for its characters. I could mention the over-the-top action sequences too as a major flaw, and okay, there were multiple times that I laughed while watching the film during its action sequences because They are really, really stupid. There is absolutely no way that some of the characters would have survived these action sequences if this were real life. Tyrese Gibson probably should have died at least 5 times in the movie. Same goes for John Cena. And Vin Diesel, as usual, doesn't have a scratch after coming out of every single car crash, just like in Furious 7. I will admit there were a couple of eye-rolling moments, but it's the Fast and Furious franchise. I'm okay with having over-the-top crazy action sequences that in no way, shape, or form would ever happen in real life the way they play out in the movie, but you need them because it makes the movie more fun. If you love the other Fast and Furious movies, you're probably going to love this one too. If you hate what these movies have become, you're probably going to hate this one as well, and you probably have not seen any of the other new ones. Overall, I had a good time, and I can't wait for part 1 and part 2 of Fast and Furious 10. I am giving F9, the Fast Saga, a 60%. And now that I have finished reviewing all 10 Fast and Furious movies on my channel, here is my official ranking of all 10 movies. As expected, in dead last is the first movie of the franchise, The Fast and the Furious. If you disagree, I recommend you go back and watch that movie because it's horrible. And no surprise that Fast 5 takes home the gold. It is my favorite movie of the Fast and Furious franchise. If you guys have any comments about my ranking of the movies, definitely let me know what you guys think, or if you guys have your own ranking of the Fast and Furious movies, be sure to let me know down below in the comment section what that ranking is. And as always, guys, if you are new to my channel, click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.